All righty, here we go. It is the Plan B After Show podcast. Brock and Hunter back at it after a nice week off.
Yes.
Nice.
Sorry, I was looking at my Amazon purchases. I forgot I bought new golf grips. Totally forgot. I love it when you forget.
Like those are going to help you. Come on now.
I know, you're right, though. I do need some new grips, though, man. Terrible grips on the clubs now. Hey.
I thought you just got new grips. Did you just get new club?
I got new clubs, but the grips that come on the clubs aren't, I mean.
Yeah, they're usually not the best
They're made
ones.
to hang on for a year, basically.
Isn't that kind of bullshit? Because I know your clubs aren't cheap either,
not cheap.
Right?
No.
Yeah.
So, hey, you know what? Let's talk about this for a second. This is what I'm going to do. For you golfers out there, this is what I'm going through. Me and my buddy, Sam. Sam's going to do this too. So, golf clubs, I got my golf clubs from doing a wedding. So, instead of getting, cash or check, whatever, for the wedding, I did a little trade with clubs and whatnot, right? So, that's how I kind of acquired mine. Otherwise, they would be over $1,000 for the irons, which is absolutely insane, Brock. It's insane.
Jesus.
And there's clubs that are more expensive than my clubs, way more expensive. And so this is what's happening. Costco in the beginning of the year. So Costco has a putter that they sell for very cheap. You can't get it now. It's discontinued. And they have the wedges and the balls and the gloves. And they're all extremely cheap, like a fraction of the price of what these other companies are selling the same thing for, basically.
Right.
They have irons coming out. So you're pitching wedge through a 4 in their tailor-made P790s, which are like $1,700 clubs. The TaylorMade are selling, right? It's craziness. And Costco's going to sell them for like $4.99 probably.
Because there's no reason those clubs should be that.
Listen to this. Recently, they just pulled them off the USGA conformant list, which means that it's what's coming out this coming year, the conformant list and clubs and blah, blah, blah. Took them off because probably other companies are like, dude, we can't have you selling $500 clubs that are sick because it's going to take away from our overpriced product.
Right. Which is bullshit.
It's bullshit, dude. It sucks. And I hate that society is like that. It's a fun sport. There's kids that can't afford $1,700 clubs that really want to play and want to have nice things. Let that happen. It's just sometimes in life, dude, there's little things that money just it stops everything. It stops the flow of progression and
and it keeps people who normally
innovation.
It keeps people from enjoying it.
Enjoying a sport that should be enjoyed.
Well, I'm kind of the same way too. I mean, and fishing, my favorite hobby is it's like some of these things where there's almost like people will give you shit if you don't have like the Abu Garcia fancy reel, the bait caster and a LaCroix rod. It's like, well, fuck, man. I just want to go out and fish. I don't need to spend $9,000.
As long as my rig is set up and my pole is somewhat decently reliable, what's the big deal?
Yeah.
I mean, here's what it is. And this is that, Brock, you and I, we're not going out to tournaments and winning, thousands of dollars catching bass. And, so I can understand if you're a pro,
But even then, though, like,
it's
I
still
guess
bait
you
in the
can't
water.
tell me that it's still bait in the water, and you can't tell me that it's that. And most of those guys aren't buying their own shit. They're giving
my buddy caught a massive largemouth on the Ronco Pocket Fisherman the other day off the boat.
Right, exactly.
We were laughing about it, but I'm like, hey, it's bait in the water, man.
Yep.
The fish isn't like, oh, I want that, but hey, he's fishing with a Ronco. I'm not going to eat it.
The biggest walleye I caught up in Canada was on an ultralight rod, like 5-foot ultralight rod that I got as part of a fishing bundle that I bought like 3 years ago, and I was finally set it up, and I'm like, let's do that, and it was awesome.
Fly fishing rod that you gave me, it's a nice setup, and it's probably, I mean, it's not the most expensive setup that you can buy for fly fishing.
No,
but you know what? I was fly fishing, and I was having a damn good time doing it.
Right,
and it works.
Right. Yeah, money can fuck up a lot of things.
Yeah, it sucks.
And it's the rich people that do that. It's same thing with like Yeti coolers.
Yeah, dude. Oh my God.
It's that same thing.
Don't get me started.
It's like if you don't have a Yeti, you don't have a Yeti? No, I have my Ozark Trail because it does the same fucking thing. You know what I mean?
Dude, for real. Yeah, don't get me started on it. So, yeah, and you know what? Unfortunately, golf is kind of hoity-toity, and there's a lot of expensive things with it. You know.
Yeah, it was it's been an expensive sport for a while.
Forever.
And now it's getting more expensive.
Yeah, come on. Damn it.
Anyway, we'll figure it out. But all right, well, enough of us bitching. We got to get to this this podcast. It's time for another. No, it's back in the day. We'll just do a quick back in the day. Okay. Back in the day. Back in the day, June 26th. Let's go back 739 years ago to 1284. According to the Grimm's fairy tale, this was the day that the Pied Piper led the children out of Hamelin, Germany. Mm-hmm. The townsfolk didn't pay him for leading the rats out of town, so he abducted the kids, hence the expression, paying the piper. I'm the Pied Piper. So he led the rats, or led the he led the rats out of town, and then they didn't pay him for getting all the rats out of the town.
This is so old timey and stupid. Who cares?
Some of the old. I have this book. Someone gave it to us. It's a kid's like a children's storybook, but it's super old timey. Yeah. And some of the stories,
it's creepy, dude. A lot of it's creepy.
They're fucked up stories. Yeah. Like you read it, I'm like, wait, what lesson was in this? A bunch of kids died, and I didn't learn anything.
It's creepy, man. Some of the times back in the day were like doom and gloom. I was telling you about that before break about the Victorian times. I was doing a little research and watched a video on that. My God, it's like they live their life around death. They celebrate. It was just weird. It's just old timey stuff. Can we draw a line in the sand in history where we're like, past this point?
Yeah.
I mean, you can study it, but do we really know? And who really cares?
Good? Yeah. What good are we getting from this? All right. What
we're
are
not
we
learning anything from it? No. You know, like
no. Exactly.
I don't know. Maybe I'm a jerk by saying that, but
no, I think you are right.
1200, dude, play the game of telephone at the bar. Yeah, it'll be a completely different story by the seventh person. You're telling me you know what happened in 1200,
and also what knowing that is going to benefit me in 2023. Yeah. I'm not saying you shouldn't know history is not important, but you know,
they're talking things we do in the world. This is sorry, man, I cut you off.
Yeah, no, go ahead.
This is like we're on our 7th society reset, and we're 800,000 years overdue, which means the world has reset itself. The earth has reset itself 6 times with a massive flood. Something happened, blah, blah, blah. You know, one of them was when the comet hit the earth, killed the dinosaurs. That's one of them.
Yes, there's 7 extinctions. We're on the 7th one, but we're overdue for the extinction.
800,000 years, they're saying.
800,000 or 8,000?
800,000 years. I mean, granted, we're talking 13.6 billion years in time since the Earth has been around.
Yep.
That's what science says. So, I mean, there's a lot of time there for sure.
Yeah.
But 800,000 years kind of makes you a little worried, doesn't it?
Yeah. Like, when's that volcano going to erupt?
Right. What are we gonna? Over there. It's hissing.
Right. Yeah. Right. Yeah. Well, we're getting warmer, so we're on our way. You know that nice big that trash island in the ocean is really speeding up the process. Right.
It's pretty hot in Canada, wasn't it? You know, over this past
dude, it was 95 in Canada. Yeah. I didn't think it was ever got that hot.
You're getting closer to the North Pole. It's supposed to be colder, isn't it?
Right.
You know?
Sweat my ass off in Canada. I don't think we're heading in the right direction. Damn it. So. Let's see. We got a couple other things here. 204 years ago, back in the day, June 26th, 1819, William Clarkson Jr. patented the bicycle in the United States.
Nice. Great invention. Hey, I'm still riding one around.
I just love that when the bicycle first came out, there were people against it. So here they are riding around on fucking horses.
We did that story once. What was that? Yeah, right? They were calling them lazy or something, or what was it?
Yeah, it's like, the bicycle. It's just it's witchcraft.
It's witchcraft. That's what it was.
Something like that.
See, another fine example of dumb old people.
Yeah. Like here's the thing, like a super efficient way to get around.
Right.
All right. That's not on an animal.
Burn it at the stake.
What are you trying? Don't get out of what are you, some kind of commie? I don't know. Yep.
So, nice.
Yeah, but 1819 had that bicycle.
Strap an electric motor on that thing.
Right there, even better. Dude, if you were to show William Clarkson Jr. what we have now from his original design, his patent, he would be like, It's fucking crazy.
There's a guy at the car show who I've seen riding around, but he rolled up in his Suron. Have you ever heard of those bikes? It's like an electric.
No.
It looks like an electric dirt bike, but you ride them on the road.
Oh, gotcha. Yeah. I think I know.
It flies, dude. It
Yeah.
flies. You know, so I
Yep.
got up close to it and was kind of checking it out, and you're like $5,000 for that bike.
Jesus, man.
But man, hey, you know what? Think about this though. The e-bike, you don't have to get it registered. There's no insurance. It's not like a car.
No.
And you're getting around pretty efficiently.
And
No gas.
nowadays with how accessible they've made most areas. I mean, there's bike trails everywhere.
Well, this dude just rides it on the road. This dude's passing cars.
Well, that's what I mean. You can ride it on the road too. Nowadays, I mean, you got bike. Granted, some areas around here, I don't feel safe on a bicycle just because of how people drive. But yeah, other than interstates, you can pretty much go anywhere you want. So
car payments looking pretty hefty these days, you know?
Man, oh man. So yeah, William Clarkson Jr. patented the bicycle.
To say, hey, you know, when everybody's on an e-bike, Brock, I want to hear from your mouth someday. Be like, man, you were one of the first. You
were, and I give you credit. Like, I want one. I'm just not. I didn't know if I'm a bike person, and and we're still going to spend a little time riding. But no, I'm all for it. It's just pulling the trigger on it is still kind of, especially when we're buying two at the same time. I'm like, ooh, that's expensive. But no, Hunter, I give you a lot of shit, but I will give you that. You were on the electric bike. Of course, that also means you spent a lot more than most people are right now.
Yeah, it wasn't cheap for sure.
Worth it though.
But I'm still riding it. You know, I just passed 3,500 miles on that thing.
That's crazy, man. That's awesome. That's awesome.
So I went to Florida and back, and now I'm on my way back to Florida.
You're right around what, maybe Tennessee? Let's see. We got a couple more here. 193 years ago in 1830 on June 26th, King George IV, England's fattest king, died at 67. Get this, for breakfast, he would eat 2 pigeons and 3 steaks and wash them down with a bottle of wine, a glass of champagne, and several glasses of brandy.
Jesus.
So you know what? They're right there. 2 pigeons on there. Yeah.
Fair tree.
You know what? That's why the whole monarchy thing is so fucking stupid. Like they would sit there and bow to this guy.
Yeah, you know,
fuck that guy.
I get to see him too up on his high horse, just as a slob. Just hands full of drumsticks and
bring me my concubines. Yeah, bring me my concubines and the guy who wipes my ass. Yeah.
Probably super loud guy too.
Right. Oh yeah.
Belly touching the front of the table.
I mean, Jesus, man. Like that's your leader.
The guy is always leaning back like this.
Yeah.
Like, dude.
Yep.
Yeah.
Anyway, fat guy. Let's see. 46 years ago, 1977, Elvis Presley made his last concert appearance at the Market Square Arena in Indianapolis, Indiana.
My mom was there.
At that one, his last one?
I believe so. Yes. She has pictures. She has the ticket still.
So
pictures are actually weird. It's because she took them. It's kind of weird seeing Elvis in like a picture that your mom took. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's a completely different view. It's from the audience. You know what I'm saying? It's wild. It's weird to see the ticket too. I think it was like $3 or something.
Yeah.
I mean, it was ridiculous.
So we can blame Indiana for killing Elvis, right? Because of course the last place he was at was Indiana, and he died. Fucking Indiana. What a garbage place.
Might as well have been Gary.
Might as well have been Gary, right? Gary.
Yeah. You know, somebody brought up about Gary that I've never thought of.
What?
The entire state of Indiana, right? The entire state. The shittiest city is in the nicest spot of Indiana.
Is in the nicest spot.
On the lake. The only spot that they get.
Yep.
And they filled it with this smoke-filled city. If you think about how big Indiana is.
Right. Big state.
You get like that much of a sliver of the greatest lake in the world, probably.
Which they gave it to him. That's all because of shipping and everything. And they need every state around there needed. So that's why, same thing with like Illinois and why Chicago's there. They all needed access for shipping and industry. But then what did Gary do? They fucked it all up, man.
Oh, man, it's terrible. It's the worst part of Indiana. On the nicest part of Indiana.
Yep. Yeah.
The nicest
fucking
land.
Gary. Of course, you know where I got hung up on traffic on my way back home? Fucking 94 around Gary, Indiana. Fuck that place, man. Oh, I hate it.
Looks like we got to stay the night in Gary tonight.
No, I would rather hitchhike out of there. Anyway. All right, I think that's good enough. We've gone on long enough. That's really all that happened back in the day. Anyway, we'll be back tomorrow with another Plan B After Show podcast back in the day episode. So make sure you tune in, and we'll see you next time.